With sales, one of the most important things to do is really to qualify the buyer. What that means is that we want to check to basically see, is this person the right customer that we want to sell to? What are the needs and drivers that actually drive their sale? And actually, do they have the budget and the ability to actually buy what you want? For any good sales professional, sales qualifying is perhaps the most important aspect to get right within your job, because actually it's all about time. That as a salesperson, you only have a certain number of hours per week to allocate to sales. So what you want to be able to do is qualify as many people as you can and really get as many sales as you can within the time that you have. So sales qualifying allows you to discount people that maybe do not have the ability to actually buy your product, that it gets rid of time wasters and essentially makes you better at your job. The other important part of sales qualifying is that it also allows you to provide a better service to your customers through properly asking the right questions to your customers. What this does, it allows you to offer the best possible service to your customers to really make sure that you are providing the best service that you can, which allows them and encourages them to keep coming back to you. So we start with 3 questions, which is to do with what is the problem that you're actually looking to fix? What is prompting you to do something about it now? And also what has prevented you from doing something about this problem until now? What we're really looking to do is understand, why now are you serious? And actually, what's the real thing that you're looking to solve? Because it might not be what they think it is, or through knowing more about your customer, it might actually allow you to cross-sell or upsell more services. Next, you really want to try and understand, what have you tried to do, if anything, to solve this problem in the past? If other people sell products exactly like yours and they've tried it and it didn't work, simply trying to do more of the same will probably not end in a good result. So the more you can really understand, okay, so you went with company X and you tried this and it didn't work. The more you understand about your competitors and the different offers, you might be able to know that your solution is the best thing to offer them, but actually it's a really important question to ask. Next, we have 2 questions about what happens if you do nothing. This is often the biggest barrier to any sale, is that the people will just delay. They do nothing, they wait for it to get worse. And again, as a salesperson, especially if you have a quota to hit, you ideally want to get sales across the line as quick as you can. But actually, if it's a problem that doesn't really get worse, if they don't do anything, that's a bit of a yellow flag just to, be aware of, that actually it might not help you with your sales process. Next, it's really important to ask, actually, does this person have a budget for the project that you're looking at? This is really important on 2 levels, because one, if they don't, they could just be wasting your time. Or if they only have a budget of £500, but your product costs £50,000, that's really important to know, because again, you might not be the right solution for them, or you know where to kind of target your service. Often people will be quite coy about not really wanting to tell you what their budget is, but actually it's important to have a ballpark figure. And this for me is why it's important to have a rough guide price list on your website if you can, because it sets the scene for what people can expect or should expect. That if you go to Mercedes, you don't expect a really cheap car, and it just sets the expectation or the anchor for when you have those client relationships. But asking about budget is really important. Then there are a series of steps which are all about the team and the decision-making process. What have they tried before? Who else is involved? Who is the decision maker for the project? Really trying to understand the dynamics of the decision-making process. And also, what would it mean if this project is solved? What is the bigger impact towards helping the business? If this can actually have a much bigger benefit far beyond the cost of your product or service, this is when we get onto something called selling value. So your solution might cost $10,000, but if it solves a problem worth $1 million, that's a very good trade-off to do with the price versus benefit. And the more you can understand about the potential benefits to clients about using your product or service, and the savings or the benefits that can bring, it really helps things in your favor in terms of negotiation. Last but not least is, when do you need a solution in place by? Often clients come to you at the last minute, and if it normally takes 6 months to get to the point of implementing your service, but they need it in 2 weeks, that's not realistic. So again, it's really important to understand this from the customer. So what we're looking to do in terms of sales qualifying is just understand more about the buyer, the buying process, the budgets, and also expectations. And again, the more you can learn about what other people have done in the past and what they could benefit from, this will actually help you really improve your sales process and what you're looking to achieve. And it's a really important part of the process. So I hope you enjoy the next kind of phase and really understanding more about this process. It's a really good tip to implement within your own business and actually within your own sales process. And a really good top tip as well is if you actually print out your sales qualifying questions and use them in your workbook or when you go to meetings as a reference, it will actually help you achieve more successful meetings and more successful outcomes just through actually having the notes to hand on what best practice is in terms of sales qualifying. So I hope you find this useful, but if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.